From the News Channel 5 Network, this is OpenLine.
Good evening and welcome to Ask the Attorney. I'm your host, Amy Rao Mohan, and today for Ask the Attorney, it's your opportunity to ask those legal questions that you've been wanting to ask, and we've got the person to answer them today.
Good evening.
Good evening. Kevin
Always
Kennedy
good to
from
see
Clarksville.
You, Amy. Good to be with you tonight.
Good to see you too, and this is the chance for viewers to call in and really get any of their legal questions answered.
Yes, absolutely, because a lot of times you're thinking through the week, so well, here it is, here's our opportunity. Let's call in, it's live, and so we'll try to share with you the best answer we can put together tonight.
Yes, and that's 737 plus 737 there it is, 7587. Sorry about that. I've been a little rusty. I missed last month.
I know. All the traffic was on us last time, and we couldn't get here on time. So.
That's true. But this time we are here and ready to
go. Absolutely.
And Kevin, tell us a little bit to remind the viewers about your practice and exactly what you do.
Well, at the Kennedy Law Firm, I've been a lawyer now a little in excess of 30 years, and where we have a large number of lawyers and support staff, 3 locations in Clarksville. And so they say, what do you handle? We handle just a little bit about everything, general practice. And we have different lawyers there that kind of specializes in different areas of the law. And it's really a great team approach. And I always love to tell the viewing audience that, you know, get a couple of opinions. And even when a lawyer starts to discuss his case, I think that's a technique that our viewers can learn. Because even as you explain it, your mind is activated to some possible options or possible issues and questions. And so the word tonight is knowledge is power. So you need to take a proactive approach, continue to try to find out all you can about a situation. Loose lips do sink ships, so don't do a lot of talking when you don't think you need to around those people. You know, it's kind of interesting. I went to a fraud detection seminar put on by an FBI agent with one of the banks, and he was up there and he was saying, okay guys, when you get it, just go ahead and tell it all. And I said, wow, now that's his
have your lawyer with you.
And I always said, don't tell it tell it to the lawyer, and because you never know what you're going to face.
Yeah, that's true. And we have the opportunity now to answer your questions, whether it's a civil matter, criminal,
yes,
family law,
bankruptcy,
yeah, bankruptcy. That's right. We can answer everything. So here we go. We're going to take some of these calls, and unfortunately, I'm not hearing too well, so I may get your name wrong. But we've got Karen here, I believe, on line 1.
Yes, I'm involved in a personal injury accident situation, and I'm having to proceed pro se, at least for now. And we're actually at the stage, though, where it's calling for interrogatories and production of documents, and I'm having to sue 2 entities because there's some question as to they're basically blaming each other.
Yes.
And I've gotten, I've been served, and I've served the parties with the interrogatories and request for production of documents. In one instance, I have received a reply for my request, but I haven't in the other. And I'm just wondering if there's anything. I guess maybe I could remind them that they're due, and I guess if necessary, file a motion to compel. But I'm not an attorney, so I just want to get the easiest way to get that done.
Well, Karen sounds like an attorney.
Yeah, you do. And yes, discovery, a lot of people don't understand once you get involved in a lawsuit, questions come and they're called interrogatories. They write you questions and you have to respond in writing, and they're sworn to under oath, and you sign that document, and they would be used later to impeach you. So you cannot make inconsistent statements. You cannot sit on your rights. If they hit you with these interrogatories, you've got to respond. And if you've got questions, one of the techniques that I've seen used over the years, some really skilled lawyers would hit you with some great questions, and they were really pushing the button. And I remember sometimes I would turn right around and tell the secretary, I said, take those same interrogatories and send them back to them. So they had been so clever to try to put my clients in a box, and we use their own trick and put themselves in a box.
And I've had clients say, well, do I really have to answer this?
Yes.
I'm not going to do it unless it's, you know, required by law. And I'm like,
yes,
well, discovery is required by law, so you've got to do it.
Yeah, and a clever lawyer and a very slick lawyer will come up with some exceptions why you say that we don't have to answer this. This is privileged information, and it would do some undue burden on the parties to have to answer that. So And you've seen many, many lawsuits when they issue these subpoenas at the White House. Well, then they file motions to compel. Well, why do you do that? You know, you can be sanctioned by the court if you didn't have a spirit of cooperation. And if they found you intentionally withheld information, they could come down on you pretty hard.
All right, so it looks like a motion to compel might be her
That's
option if she can't reach out to the parties, I guess,
Yes.
and get a resolution. All right, we've got Michael here on number 2. Hi, Michael.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
How are you?
I'm doing all right.
How can we help you today?
My question is how long? What I have to do when a company vehicle rented my car, and another rented his that vehicle and pushed it into us. Why do we need to wait so long, and how long should we wait?
Okay, well, remember this. If there was a personal injury that was involved in Tennessee, you have a 1-year statute of limitation. That means you need to hire a lawyer and file that with the court within 1 year. If you don't, you're forever barred. One of the lessons I love to share now, if you're involved in a car wreck, immediately hire a lawyer. Why? Because sometimes they can take some steps that they can go out and photograph the skid marks, and there's a host of things. I'll never forget, we had a case very similar where someone had a bad car wreck and someone was hurt real bad. I said, you need to hire a lawyer now. And they wouldn't do it. Later, the person died, and they were charged with vehicular homicide.
Wow.
Well, by the time that they were actually charged, everything on the wreck, the scene, it's all gone. So I hate to be the one to say, I told you so. So I'm telling everybody here tonight, move now.
Yeah. And Karen said, I think that she had a personal injury case too, but she was pro se. But a lot of those cases, you can hire a lawyer on a contingency fee basis.
It's one of the last great vestiges of justice in the American judicial system. If you get hurt and they'll take it on a contingency fee, you don't have to spend the money. And lawyers, you know, if they're looking at a $5,000 retainer, so many people don't have those resources available. That's why would you and I, if we had a bad car wreck or even a smaller one, would we hire a lawyer tonight?
Oh, sure, definitely.
And that's why we went to law school, to learn all these things. Knowledge is power, and we would both do it immediately. If it was a 1/3, that's what's standard throughout the industry. It's still a great deal for the citizens. It's a good deal for the lawyer, and it makes you and the lawyer really partners. And you need an advocate, so they're advancing your cause, and they're also advancing their own cause. And that's why the system works still well. Insurance companies and many legislators would like to pass legislation where you do without the 1/3. The day you do that, then the little man can get no justice.
Yeah.
There's no way he can finance it. And so that's one of the beautiful things about America, is that a little man can still get justice in a big court.
Yeah, that is true. We've got lots of calls here today, and please continue to call at 737+. We've got Emma, who's been waiting patiently. Hi, Emma.
Hi.
Hello.
My question is that I had a replica dealership here that I paid my car notes on time and everything. I even paid up ahead of time. And they came out and took my vehicle, and when they took my vehicle, they found out that they had made this mistake, but would not bring me back my vehicle nor refund my money, and I haven't gotten my money today yet. And they keep telling me that I'm going to get my money, but I haven't gotten it today.
Okay, well, you're in a classic spot. You should try to get you a lawyer to help, because what they've done is crossed the line. There's a law in Tennessee called conversion. If they've taken your property and converted it as their own, that can be a civil penalty and a criminal penalty. Also, we have the State of Tennessee Motor Vehicle Division. You can file a complaint with them. Tennessee Consumer Affairs. You can bring a lot of heat on these, because we don't want business people. It's against public policy to have someone in business try to take advantage of some person in this kind of situation, and you probably would be entitled to treble damages.
Yeah, the Tennessee Consumer Protection Act,
Yes.
maybe.
So the squeaky door gets the oil. If you do nothing, you sit on your rights, you get nothing, get up and keep advancing.
Right. Well, lots of great advice already, and we've got more to come. So please call that number 737+, and we'll be back with Kevin Kennedy after this.